In many cases, a debtor who does not repay his debt or does not comply with the payment order may face many restrictions that the enforcement and collection authority known as execution may impose on him. Most often, these will be foreclosures, and in some cases, the authority may impose foreclosures on real estate owned by the debtor. Restrictions in an execution case are a serious matter that requires professional consideration. Therefore, in order to deal with real estate foreclosure and manage your execution case in an informed and responsible manner, it is important to consult an Israeli lawyer in the field of execution with extensive experience and get tailored assistance. What real estate are enforcement representatives allowed to seize? The Enforcement and Collection Authority, and those acting on its behalf, may seize any real property registered in the name of the debtor. In addition, foreclosures may be imposed on any right in the land registered in the name of the debtor, or those arising from the registration of a warning note on the said land. If, after the foreclosure of the land, the debtor does not repay the debt, the Enforcement and Collection Authority may sell the foreclosed property and use the amount received to repay the debtor's debt and transfer the amount to the person in which he owes money to. In which cases may the winner apply for a foreclosure? Foreclosure of real estate is not a trivial matter. This is a drastic step taken against debtors who do not cooperate at all with the enforcement procedure. In order for this request to be submitted by the person who is owed a debt, a warning must be given to the debtor regarding the opening of the case for execution, and he must be informed of the proceedings that may be carried out against him if the debt is not repaid. If the debt is not repaid in full within the period specified in the warning, the person whom the debt is owed may apply for foreclosure. Importantly, this is true even if part of the debt is repaid, and even if the debtor meets the terms of his payment order. As long as the debt is not repaid in full, the creditor has the right to demand foreclosures, although in most cases the debtor's compliance with the payment order will stand to his credit. In which cases will the foreclosed real estate property be sold? At the end of 30 days from the date of registration of the property as foreclosed, during which the debtor has not yet repaid his debt, the person to whom the debt is owed has the right to submit an application for the sale of the land. If the registrar of execution approves this application, the foreclosed property will be sold. It is important to note that the sale of the property is conditional on the request of the person to whom the debt is owed, and the registrar of execution has no authority to order the sale of the land. Foreclosed real estate may not be sold throughout the foreclosure period, and the foreclosure will only mean that the debtor will be restricted in their use and will not be able to sell the property, rent it, pledge it, etc. In practice, before the cancellation of the property, the registrar will give each party an opportunity to argue for or against the move. If 10 years have elapsed in which nothing has been done in the foreclosed property, the registrar of real estate may withdraw the foreclosure without the need for the approval of the registrar of execution. If this is done, the land registrar is obliged to inform the person to whom the debt is owed, and, if he is unable to contact him, publish a notice in the media. A foreclosure of real estate is not a decree from heaven. Foreclosure of property can be a very frightening step, but it is important to know that you have many rights at your disposal. If an application has been submitted for the foreclosure of your assets, you must act quickly and contact a lawyer who specializes in the field. A quick response backed by professional experience will allow you to deal with the foreclosure in the best way and implement all the options available to you within the law in order to prevent, appeal, or revoke the foreclosure as much as possible. You can find the help that you need for this process at the Shimon Han Law Office, where the office staff have extensive experience in canceling foreclosures and debt settlements.